Thunder rolled across Pandaria as Lei Shen's army swept through the land, and even the divine might of the 4 August Celestials could not withstand the Mogu's relentless advance. Amid the chaos, Niuzao, the steadfast Black Ox, found himself encircled by a legion of towering clay warriors, each sculpted with such uncanny precision that for a moment he believed them fully alive. In that instant, doubt crept into his heart, and fear gripped his noble chest. With a roar that cracked the sky, the clay sentinels closed in, and the Black Ox fell beneath their stony onslaught. On that fateful day, the Mogu claimed victory over one of Pandaria's greatest guardians, leaving only echoes of his courage behind. High atop the Serpent's Spine, a colossal wall dividing the manted realms of the Dreadwaste and the town-long steppes, Emperor Shaohao hesitated, every muscle coiled with dread. The wind howled through ancient ramparts, and below stretched the chittering menace of distant hives. Fear clamped around his heart, pinning him to the ledge. Gathering his resolve thanks to Niuzao encouraging him to continue, Shaohao descended the wall, each footfall guided by Niuzao's steady counsel. As he entered the wasteland's parched earth, the howling winds gave way to a tense silence. Deeper into the area he pressed, the landscape's oppressive stillness driving him onward. But then came another sound, an ominous clatter of manted weapons, and the rasping hiss of 3 of their warriors trying to attack something in the trees. Shaohao's gaze snapped toward the source, and his breath caught. His friend, the Monkey King, was suspended in midair, tangled in the vines, desperately twisting to avoid the spears in the manted's hands. Shaohao was frozen in place. The Sha of Fear had him in his grasp. But from across the windswept steppes came Niuzao's deep rumble. "You must not let the fear control you, my emperor. You must control your fear." In that moment, Shaohao's eyes landed on a grove of bent kapari trees, their amber sap oozing from vine-strangled bark. "I will not be paralyzed by fear," he declared, voice cracking like distant thunder. Summoning every ounce of resolve, Shaohao hurled himself forward. With a roaring impact, he drove his shoulder into the nearest kapari trunk. The bark splintered, sticky sap cascaded to the ground, and the 3 manted found themselves bound by the oozing resin, their weapons slipping from grasp. As the vines slackened and the Monkey King tumbled free, Shaohao knelt to help his friend to his feet. They slipped past the trapped warriors and raced toward safety. Proof that courage is born the moment we choose to move, even when fear still lingers in our veins. Niuzao joined the other August Celestials to unseal the jade-bound gates of the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. But peace lasted only a breath. At the climax of the Shadowpan's long vigil, the Shanzi Mogu, marshaled by the warlord Shanbu, pounced in a brutal surprise attack. Terracotta giants hammered against Niuzao's flanks, trying to shackle the Black Ox where he stood. Their victory seemed certain, until Ban Bearheart spearheaded a Shadowpan countercharge. Steel flashed, chants rose, and the Mogu phalanx broke apart like cracked pottery, freeing the Celestial from his chains. Though wounded, Niuzao's spirit remained unbowed. When the veil reeled again, this time under a Mogu invasion sparked by the death of the Guardian Ji the Harmonious, the Black Ox lent his unyielding strength to the Golden Lotus defenders. Empowered by Niuzao's blessing, they held the line beneath blossoming boughs, proving that even in a land of tranquil gardens, resolve can be as solid as stone. On his fabled quest to enchant the legendary cape, Rathian led a seasoned champion of the Timeless Isle where the trial of Niuzao would take place. The trial forges valor from doubt. When dread once buckled Emperor Shaohao's knees, the steadfast Black Ox urged him to stride forward toward the terror stalking his heart. Only after a grueling clash with the Sha of Fear did the Emperor rise triumphant, proof that courage is endurance made manifest. Those who seek Niuzao's favor must likewise steel themselves, undaunted even when the horizon bristles with danger, for only the unflinching earn passage through the Ox's gauntlet. A gentle hush fell over the vale as Lorewalker Cho and the steadfast adventurer gathered around the freshly planted sapling. Cho stepped forward, kneeling before the young tree with scroll in hand. "Dear Emperor, it is done," he said softly, voice trembling. "The darkness you once struggled against has been purged from Pandaria, forever. But the cost, such a terrible cost." A bell tolled overhead and a shaft of amber light coalesced into Shaohao's spirit. He drifted above them, his presence both comforting and solemn. "Do not despair over the damage that was done here." The Emperor's voice resonated through the courtyard. You have triumphed over the darkness I had locked away. You have shown Pandaria the power of a true hero. But the question still remains. Why do we fight? As Yulon spiraled overhead, the other Celestials stepped into view, their forms aglow with celestial energy. Shaohao's gaze softened as he addressed his champions below. To fight out of fear or anger, he said, is to wage a war that never ends. Cho and the adventurer rose, listening as the Emperor continued. Face your fears, calm your hatreds, find peace within yourself, so you may share it with the world around you. These are life's greatest treasures. With a quiet flourish, Shaohao pressed his staff into the earth. In an instant, the sapling shot skyward, its branches unfurling into a towering beacon of jade and gold. Surely these treasures, he whispered, are worth fighting for. Then, with a final bow, his form dissolved into a blinding flash of light, leaving the fully matured tree as his living legacy. Cho knelt once more, tears glinting as he whispered, "Thank you, Emperor. Thank you." Around him, the Celestials shared their reflections. Cho vowed that, "What you have achieved today will shape Pandaria for thousands of years to come." And Chi-Ji added that, "The tree stands as a symbol of hope, a promise that our land may heal and grow stronger by your deeds." Niuzao nodded his approval, while Zhuan praised the hero's valor, saying, "Your strength has freed this land of its long-held darkness." Yulong looked toward the budding tree and spoke of the work ahead, reminding them that, thanks to your deeds, we no longer labor in the shadow of Yasharaj's breath. In time, the Sha will fade, and your name will be remembered with the reverence of the last emperor. Under the watchful eyes of the Celestials and the spirit of Shaohao, the veil of eternal blossoms began to stir back to life, its future forever shaped by courage tempered with compassion. As the shadow of Niuzau's assault darkened the veil of eternal blossoms, the once serene Emperor's approach became a crucible of defiance. Amid shattered jade lanterns and fallen petals, Niuzao the Black Ox planted his massive hooves on the ground, his breath a steady rumble in the chaos. The abomination surged forward in relentless tide, tentacled horrors crowned with octopus-like heads and hooves for feet, each writhing limb lashing out at anything in reach. Yet for every foe that lunged at his flank, Niuzao's horns swept in precise arcs. He broke their formation with relentless strength, tearing through void-tainted flesh. Where they sought to overwhelm him with sheer numbers, he met them with unbreakable resolve, hooves slamming down like thunder, horns locking and ripping as one. Dust and petals swirled in the tumult as Niuzao's deep bellow rallied the Veil's defenders. Around him, Pandaren monks pressed forward, inspired by the Black Ox's unshakable calm. With each fallen conqueror, he carved a path for hope, pushing the tide back toward Niuzau's encroaching darkness. When the final faceless beast collapsed at his feet, Niuzao stood unbowed, his coat dusted with jade and ash, his eyes alight with the promise that even in the face of abyssal terror, the strength of an unyielding spirit could turn the tide. In that moment, the Emperor's approach was more than a battleground. It was a testament to the Black Ox's unwavering shield against the void. And that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully you did enjoy. Thanks for checking it out. See you in the next one.